On this episode of Livin The Dream, Captain Jimmy and Luiza travel to the Cayman Islands to target tuna and dolphin on 60 Mile Bank. And once again, Cayman fishing redefines the meaning of a good day on the water.
Oh, yeah, baby!
This is Livin The Dream with Captain Jimmy Nelson, presented by Salt Life. Live salty.
Good fish. And that's what she was fighting all that time. Man, what a fish. Wow. Doesn't get any better than Baja. Yeah, boy. That's a kingfish right there. Woo! We flew from Tampa to Grand Cayman on Cayman Airways. The goal for this trip to Grand Cayman was to go to 60 Mile Bank and try to catch some tuna and dolphin. So as we pulled up to 60 Mile Bank, we started putting out the C&H lures to see if we could troll up a dolphin or a tuna before we got to the bank. Welcome back to another episode of Livin The Dream. Today we're out here about 60 miles off the coast of Grand Cayman, and I got something running. It's not running real hard. It might be a barracuda. And there it is on the surface. Is that a dolphin? Oh, look at that. We got a little dolphin back there jumping. We're getting this dolphin a little bit closer. And again, we're out here with Real Addiction Charters, Captain King Kong, and it's a good way to start with a dolphin. One of my favorite fish to catch, especially when you're casting at them with poppers and stuff like that. They're just so acrobatic and they jump a lot. Sometimes when you have a bigger reel and you're keeping the boat in gear, it keeps the fish down some, but it also keeps them on the hook, because when they're jumping like they're doing right now, they'll sometimes throw that hook. Nice fish. All right, good job. Thanks, Nick. Good job, man. There it is. Nice sized cow. Good way to start it off. I mean, we haven't been trolling for more than probably 10 minutes and got this guy already. You see him anymore? There they are. They're on it, and he's got it. He just made him flip out of the water. Oh, did you see that? Oh my gosh. Talk about catching some air. Luiza, grab the other popper. He's got friends. He's got a big one trying to hit this popper out of his mouth, Luiza. Woo. Oh guys, look at that school of fish. Beautiful. Look at these things. Wow. He about jumped in the boat that time. That's good, just start working it in. They're gonna hit it right there. Boom, got it, good job. Doubled up. There he is. It's a little peanut, but he's a keeper. It's on the Ozuri Hydro Popper. Woo, they're a lot of fun. The dolphins started getting wise to the popper after seeing their buddies getting yanked out of the water, so I grabbed the Real Ridiculous jig and dropped that down, and I hooked one up right away on the jig. Here you come. There you go. Got him. Whoa! On the Real Ridiculous flat side jig, and that was the biggest one in the school. I got a real tight drag on this rod, and I don't want to rip the fish, but I'm going to go ahead and attempt to lift him. And there he goes, right there. See if I can get my hand on him. I'm just staying clear while he beats himself up because I don't want him to beat me up. He can't do this all day, I promise you. That one is going absolutely ballistic, but that's what he has in his mouth, is that Real Ridiculous jig. He's hitting himself on both sides of his face with it. He does not want to slow down for me.
When you pull a dolphin in the boat, they go absolutely crazy. They're jumping all over the place and shaking and slinging blood.
Might be the easiest way to grab it is right by the jig. And there it is. That's what it just happened on. It's trying not to get beat with the jig. They weren't huge dolphin in that school, but they're decent ones, and that was the biggest one in there. They quit hitting the popper, so I dropped that jig, and they went for it, and it worked. All right, let's get that one in the cooler.
Livin the Dream with Captain Jimmy Nelson is made possible by Salt Life. Live salty. Engel Coolers, the original high-performance cooler. Sea-Deck, your boat deserves Sea-Deck. ACR Electronics, the science of survival. And by American Fishing Wire. Captain Jimmy and Luiza are fishing 60 Mile Bank in Grand Cayman.
Oh, did you see that? Oh my gosh! Talk about catching some air.
And within just minutes of reaching the bank, they've hooked into a school of jumpy dolphin. But the fish caught on and the bite stopped. So Jimmy has decided to switch gears and try for tuna.
After icing those dolphin, we started chunking for tuna, and we got a pretty nice hit.
Well, I'm not doing anything anytime soon. All right, so we got the rod out of the rod holder. We may have our first tuna on. Not a real big one, I don't think.
I was thinking it was a smaller tuna, but all of a sudden it started getting pretty strong.
He's coming towards me, so that's good. What happens when these fish are coming up, like I'm gaining ground right now, his nose is facing up towards the surface. He's gonna keep doing circles up. And I'm winning. As long as I keep that head up, I can keep gaining ground. If I slack off for a minute to catch my breath, he'll point his head down and he'll take everything back that I just worked for. And I got him right here below the boat now. He's not too far. We have 80-pound main line on. Just a 7/0 J hook and a chunk of blackfin tuna. Whew, and it is hot. We got a 90-degree weather day today. It's only about 5-knot winds. Got some rollers out here, but it's not that windy. Got this fish real close now. Whew. This is not the kind of fish you want to catch if you're not in to putting your back into it.
Chunking for tuna is pretty popular in the Cayman Islands and in most places that you fish for tuna. You just take whatever bait fish you end up catching, like blackfin tuna, bonita, barracuda, whatever it may be, chunk it up and just start throwing it in the water and throw the same size chunk on your hook that you're throwing in the water for chum and just let it all drift back together, and sooner or later you're gonna get picked up by a pretty good sized tuna.
All right, here he is. Woo, it's a good one. It's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
It was very exciting to be hooked up to a really nice tuna that early in the day.
Nice. Well done. Look at that. Nice. That is a thick tuna. Look at the yellow in these fins here. Just gorgeous. A real good look at them. All right, and that's the tuna. That's what I thought was little at first, and then it grew as we were reeling it in. Wow, beautiful fish. And you guys wonder why I come to the Cayman Islands a lot. This is one of those reasons right here. And again, come on in here, King Kong. Come in here and sit beside me. I'm gonna have you sit beside me because it don't make no sense for me to stand beside you. Guy's a foot taller than everybody on the island. What's the name of your charter company again?
Real Addiction 345.
Real Addiction 345. His information is going to appear on the screen there. You guys want to catch tuna like this on a regular basis any time of year. Is there any time that they don't bite out here? All year long, you can catch yellowfin tuna like this. This beautiful, beautiful fish. A little winded, but man, it was worth it. It was worth the effort. Thanks, man.
Lost the double up, but
We did. He had another big one on the front that pulled the hook, but I'm sure we're in a school of fat ones. So let's get everything situated and do it again.
Livin the Dream with Captain Jimmy Nelson is made possible by C&H Lures. Be a winner with C&H Lures. Plantation on Crystal River, the place to stay and play along Florida's nature coast. Yozuri, fish the best. Cayman Islands Angling Club. Come experience sport fishing in paradise. And by Tsunami, awesome tackle.
Luiza and I decided to go hang out at Rum Point for a little bit, and Rum Point's kind of like a hot spot on the weekends. People go there, hang out, swim. There's lots of good food there. But it's kind of just a place to hang out and chill on the beach in the Cayman Islands. It's only a couple feet deep and it just slowly gets deeper, so it's a great place to bring the kids, the family. You can pull your boat up and hang right out on the beach. You don't have to drive to Rum Point like we did. You can just bring the boat right up to the dock or right up on the sandbar and hang out. It was pretty amazing to see all the bonefish in the water right by the people swimming. I was pretty surprised to see all of those. I mean, if I'd have had a rod, I'd have gladly cast it in there and hooked up one.
Back on 60 Mile Bank, before Jimmy could even get his last tuna on ice, he's hooked into another one.
We got another yellowfin on. This one's quite a bit smaller. Nick hooked it up when we were about to get that other one on ice, taking a few pictures. We got him right here below the boat. Oh my goodness, that will taste good. And another one. Didn't even get this big one on the ice yet, and already got another one in the boat. That one didn't take long.
Almost immediately after catching those two tuna, Luiza hooked into something on her chunking rod.
Ooh, looks like something took a bite of that dolphin. He gave up.
Oh, something did hit him. The billfin.
Yeah.
Marlin hit.
See that? I saw it from. Yeah, I saw it from far away. I'm like, that doesn't look right.
We hooked into quite a few small yellowfin tuna and blackfin tuna as well while we were chunking for the larger tuna. After seeing Luiza and the crew bring in some smaller blackfin tuna and yellowfin tuna on the chunking rod, I decided to grab my popper and cast it out there and see if I could get in on the action. Tuna get pretty dang aggressive on the top, man. It's awesome watching a tuna hit a topwater lure.
There it is. Fish on. Got him. He hit it about one pop in.
The tuna were loving those Yozuri poppers. It was almost too easy.
Good fish, man. All right.
I personally don't think there's any better bite than a topwater bite.
I got one pop out of it and he hit, so I don't know if you guys seen that real well. I've barely seen the explosion as far as I casted that thing out there. A real pretty fish. Oh, nice hit right there. That's a couple casts and a couple tuna in a row. This one's much smaller. This is more bait size. That last yellowfin was definitely one that's gonna make it home for dinner. Another yellowfin. There he is. We're gonna add him straight there to the bait table. That's what we got him on again. That dolphin colored Yozuri hydro popper is pretty killer. Perfect. And there it is. It's a lot safer holding this lure than it is that fish. The lure is a little bloody, but check out these hooks on that. So one of the reasons I like these, even on the smaller poppers, they use these same big hooks that they use on larger lures, like grouper trolling lures, the bigger bull pops. I mean, that's one of these things about Yo-Zuri that I love so much. Better components. That's what keeps these lures working fish after fish after fish.
While I was hooking up some of those tunas on the popper, Luiza hooked up into a little bit bigger one on the chunk bait.
Come on, fish, show yourself.
All right, now we're getting a little color.
It's all the way down there. Non-stop tuna action. All the way in, keep
Yeah,
going.
just keep going and walk,
All right.
walking back here.
Luiza got that tuna in perfect position, so I stuck him and pulled him in the boat.
There you go. Nice fish, Luiza. Got him. It's gonna be bloody, guys. It's gonna be bloody. I hit the bloodline. I'm gonna try to get that tail under control. Well done, Luiza.
Thank you. You got some soy sauce for me?
Oh, we're gonna have plenty of that waiting for us at the dock.
Yeah.
Good fish.
Awesome.
Good fish.
Super, super strong fish. They're all muscle, so
They are.
definitely make you work for it.
Yes, they do. Well done. A little look at what we have in the cooler so far. We have our bait in the single behind us. And we have our dinner down there.
You gotta love the Cayman Islands.
Yes.
Woo!
Oh, you got one on you. You got one on you. Right there it is.
Woo! Got
Nice.
it. Nice.
Nice. Good job, Luiza.
Gotta love the topwater bite.
You see that thing come up behind it? Oh, it just
And
pulled
it
it. It
came
pulled
off.
it. It pulled the hook. Great hit, though.
Dang, that was
Great
fun.
hit.
I
Get it
love
back
this.
out there again.
So much fun doing this.
Oh, yeah, baby. There he goes. Woo! We are in them. Luiza just had one hooked up here that pulled the hook, and I cast it in behind her and got him. And there he goes. There he goes.
Captain Jimmy and Luiza are fishing off Grand Cayman's 60-mile bank. It wasn't long before they found schools of dolphin and tuna that couldn't resist their lures.
Oh, did you see that? Oh my gosh. Woo! They're a lot of fun. This is not the kind of fish you want to catch if you're not in to putting your back into it. Woo! It's a good one.
Casting poppers from the bow, Luiza loses a dolphin, and Jimmy is hooked up right behind her.
There it is.
Got
Nice.
it. Nice.
Oh, it just
And
pulled
it
it. It
came
pulled
off.
it. It pulled the hook. Oh, yeah, baby. There he goes. Woo! We are in them.
The little yellowfin tuna just kept coming in the boat, man, one after another.
Luiza just had one hooked up here that pulled the hook, and I cast it in behind her and got him. And there he goes. There he goes. Take it down a little. That's already tight. Gosh. All right, I'm gonna walk back here to the back to land them. This one hit the bull pop, casting a little bit larger lure here. Oh, one hook in. We wanna hit him with the gaff. There you go, perfect. See the difference in these two lures here? This hydro popper has that lip that's kind of spread out, so it pushes water out to the side, it just kind of sprays water. This one, if you get a look at it there, it has that round lip. And that round lip is more of like a chug, it just, it's like chugging through the water. This one sprays a lot more water. This one's more of just a big chug, but I used this one this time because it's heavier. Those tuna were further out there, and I wanted to make a longer cast. And as you can tell, this fish is not a big fish, but he handled that lure no problem.
It was non-stop action. After that, Luiza ended up hooking into another one on the chunk bait.
Oh, there's a dolphin right here.
Oh, you got a dolphin on.
And then I hooked into one on the popper, but this time it was a dolphin.
Oh, hit it. Dang, right there. Ugh. Look at that thing.
Nice.
Oh, and you got a big dolphin too, Luiza. Nice.
Woohoo! You got a dolphin too?
Yeah, check it out.
Awesome.
Nice double. Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
don't
got a real
know.
nice one there.
Awesome.
Good job, nice double.
Yeah.
One on the popper and one on the chunk bait. They're coming in both ways.
Surrounded by tuna and dolphin.
And they were pretty nice sized schoolies. It was turning into a pretty amazing day out there fishing with Nick and King Kong. Luiza was chunking and I was throwing the popper. And while I was throwing that popper, I kept hooking into some pretty big skipjacks.
Oh, got it on the second go around. Cast back in there. There's more with them, I'm sure. The first one missed it. Man, all day long, bent rods, non-stop action. Oh, look at that. It's a skipjack. It's a big skippy. Now that right there is some marlin bait. And look at the purples and just the colors on that thing. Look how he hit that lure. Came in right from behind. Swallowed it. Real pretty fish. The meat just doesn't compare to a blackfin or a yellowfin, but they're a heck of a fighter too. Beautiful, man. Look at that thing. Wow.
This is a big one. Trying to save my energy. Because once this tuna sees the boat, it's gonna swim down again. We all know that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to the back of the boat. Nice! Woo! Beautiful
fatty.
fish!
Wow.
Yes!
What a fish, girl. All right. Just out here living the dream.
Yeah! One fish at a time.
For more fishing and diving action, follow along on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at Captain Jimmy Nelson. Livin' the Dream with Captain Jimmy Nelson was brought to you by Salt Life. Live salty.